Hello, good morning, welcome back to the channel. So it is now, what's the time? 11 o'clock. So the plumber has been in and he's done his primary setup for the sink unit to go in. So here we have hot and cold feed ready to go for the sink. Here we have the connections onto the shower. So 2 isolation valves there. When you're doing a bathroom, do not forget to put in your isolation valves in the correct places, somewhere you can get hold of it, because you know, actually it's regulation now, you need to be able to isolate these things. So should anything go wrong, at least you can turn off your shower, you can turn off your taps or whatever, and it makes like changing stuff a lot easier. So that's all in, ready to rock and roll. The shower, he's now put that on as well, so we've tested that, that works beautifully. And what I'm doing now is I am currently installing the rise rail. Really easy to do for these Aquilines and Midas. They're a fantastic piece of kit. I cannot recommend them enough. And really, the top tip is just follow instructions for this one. But a little thing is like, so obviously you install your holes to actually get these fit, so that'll slide on. But when you put your holes and cut holes, especially through acrylic board, but also like tiles and stuff, is can you see a blob of silicone on there? So once my screw goes through, it'll just seal it, and it just means that no water can permeate into that gap. Because obviously it's just a wet area, you're showering, water spraying everywhere, so you just want to make sure that all your boards are completely protected. So there's a top tip. So I'm now going to just finish installing this and then have a quick bite to eat. Nice. Right, so I've now put that up. Easy peasy, like I just said, it's not difficult at all. Get the holes cut, get them siliconed, put the first one at the top here first, slide the rail up into it, align the bottom one with the hole, zip it in, Bob's your uncle, other people's you're on. Now we're on to, probably can't see it because it's glass, but there is an invisible screen right here. These are really easy, so compared to like fitting, say, a shower enclosure and stuff like that, this is a piece of cake. So basically, what I had to do was create some channels here so I could get this in. So what we'll do now, we take the channel that comes with the screen. I then leveled it off, as you probably better off doing. Mark where the holes are going to be. There's 3 holes in this one. So I've now piloted those. Luckily for me though, I've got 80mm ply behind it, so I can just screw straight into that. But I want to just kind of get through here so it doesn't like chip or crack the acrylic panel, and then screw straight in. So what I'll do now is bit of silicone down the back edge all the way, a little bit onto the deck as well, just so it goes around the inside of the channel at the bottom, as you can see, and then screw it up, wipe off the excess sealant, because I'll seal it the inside edge as well. So at the back of it we siliconed, and where it meets up the wall, that little edge there also be siliconed. Done, and then screw it to the wall. It's as easy as that. At that point the panel then lifts up and slides straight into it. Done, easy as that. Then silicone across the bottom. Righty dokie, so the plumber's been, he's done his things, it's very, very nice. So there we go, one operational sink, absolutely gorgeous. You can see now, isolators for hot and cold for the tap, isolators there for the shower, so everything accessible, everything is easy to get to. Should there be an emergency, we can shut this bad boy down easy. So what I'm doing now is, because I can, boxing either side. So I'm going to box on this pipework, and one of you lovely guys commented yesterday about like the left hand side, like a bit of a shame, like it got that gap. So I'm actually going to box that in as well. So what we're going to do is, you see just there where you can see the yellow, I'm going to build my box in just to kind of cover that and come all the way down, which will make it look a lot neater. But I'm going to start with this bit first. So what I'm taking into account here is I need to make sure that the height of it allows for that to go. So you can now see that's going to be the perfect height, because I could have cut that to the wrong height there, put this on, and it's sat up there somewhere, and I'll be like, oh, for bugger's sake. So there you go, that's what it's going to be, done and dusted. So that's going to look neat. So what I'll do is I'll chop this down here now. I'll chop a top bit, I'll get a few little supports in, and that's one bit of boxing done. Boxing everywhere, and I would put your cup of tea. Not so much now, because I could put it on this lovely little shelf I built, and that's that. See, done. So completely blocked in now. I'll turn the camera angle so you can actually see it. There we go. Beautiful. So tomorrow what I'll do is, so I basically use like sticks to basically get this all glued in. So it's glued in the floors, glued in the side panel. Obviously the corner trim is glued in, and it's all glued across this joint as well. But tomorrow I'll tidy all that up with a bit of white silicone all the way around. But once that's set, that is going nowhere. Trust me, that's going to be well and truly stuck. So now let me go grab the little piece that I'm doing next. So basically, there we go. So, lovely little panel. What is it for, I hear you say? Oh, it goes in there like that. Theoretically, most of the time, occasionally, when it feels like it. There we go. Okay. So basically, that's now going to go in there. So I'm just going to get that glued into place. Well, I say that, I'm not going to actually glue it. I tell a lie. You can see now the pipework, I can't get to the isolator. So what this has actually been designed to do is, see there's got screws there and there, and on the back there's like little retaining bits. Okay, so theoretically this is supposed to just like push on, click, click, and then it can be pulled out again if you need to. But because the pipework being in the way and protruding too far forward, it's further forward than these bad boys. So what I'm going to do is get my tri-square, which again is over here somewhere in hiding. Where did I put it? There it is. It's buried. I'll get my better one, but it's to give you an idea. I'll put that level with that hole, put a mark across it, mark across the bottom as well. Do that on both sides, and then measure the back of the unit and put it forward, and then drill a 5mm pilot hole, and then I'll basically be able to put the shelf, the back panel on there at that point. Again, not a big job, but what that'll also mean I have to do is, because this panel now be sitting further forward, my shelving is not going to fit in there. It'll want to protrude out here somewhere. So I'll go get shelving and just chop the back edge off of it, and then I'll push in beautifully. So a bit of bespoke adjustment, but that's usually the way with these kind of things when you're fitting like sink units and toilet units and stuff like that. You have to make adjustments because pipework, you need it. You need the water and you need the waste. That's the way it is. So I'm going to get that adjusted and all sorted out, and I'll show you that finished in a minute. So there you go. One nice shelving unit, all done, bespoke built, done and dusted. If I need to, just take the shelf out, take the back panel out. I've got access to the hot and cold feed, done and dusted. While I was there, I've taken the time to obviously fit the doors, because, you know, why wouldn't you? Oh yeah, looking good. I do love that boxing. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to work on this one. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to cut a bit of this, what do you call it, acrylic anchor panel to fit down here. I just think it's going to look a bit neat. If I put the white panel on, it's just not going to kind of tie in as well. So I'll bespoke build that as well, so that looks absolutely pucker. So I'm going to cut that for that length, and what I'll do is I've got this lovely bit of trim left over here, which I think should just about fit, give or take. So I'll try and fit that to the top of it to finish it off with that. Proper quality. Done. So there you go. There's a lovely now bespoke built panel. All marries up lovely. I went for this trim in the end, so I was originally going to use the square edge. But what I suddenly thought was actually this stuff, the corner quarter stuff, is so much better suited. Because what I was able to do was, if I could find a little piece, so you can see the profile of it there. So that bit sits underneath the shower tray perfectly, and obviously the panel then comes off this bottom piece. But because that just fits underneath the shower tray and it curves up, it's going to be absolutely perfect. So what I'll do is, once I've done my final test, once I've had the shower on, keep my nose underneath here for a bit, make sure there's no leaks, make sure the waste is fine. Once I'm happy with that, I'll simply push this on, clear bead and silicone, across the top, all the way across the bottom to stop any water ingress. And then that is it done. Completely bespoke, completely waterproof, just beautiful. And just looks, it just ties in now. It's almost seamless the way the boxing leads into the boxing, leads into the sink, and down there. So I am very happy. It's looking really stonky now. So tomorrow, because that's it, I'm done now for the day. I've got my other trim turning up hopefully tomorrow. So depending on what time it turns up, I can get around the window finished. Decorator's cork all the way around the top for that final little gap, which is going to be lovely. Fit the screen. Oh yeah, forgot to mention, so the screen, we've tried it, the client would prefer a smaller screen, so got rid of the 900, we're going for 700 now, but this will do perfectly. Managed to order through Victoria Plumbing, and it'll be here tomorrow. Perfect. So that'll turn up, I'll get that fit, and then really it's just like bits and pieces, like a bit of silicone around here, a bit of sealant around the sink, and around the boxing, that kind of stuff to finish off. So yeah, tomorrow's going to be a good day. Hopefully get this one pretty much tied off, except for a few bits and pieces. Like I say, if this stuff doesn't turn up on time, that kind of stuff will slow me up. But that's the other thing I'm going to do. I'm also going to run a tiny bead of clear sealant down all these joints. Now I know they're glued in, I know it's right in that panel and it oozed out, so it's good as gold. But in saying that, I do like a little bead of sealing just to make sure everything's absolutely hunky-dory and isn't going to go anywhere. So I'm going to do a teeny tiny bead just around both sides of these joints. Again, over-engineered, just you're here, you're doing it, get it done, do it right, and there'll be no problems further on down the line. So that is the plan. So that's it. So don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, tell your friends and family, share it around. Any questions, ping them over to me. I'm a bugger for getting back to questions and comments in a second, just because I'm quite busy in the evenings with the 3.5-year-old. Keeps you entertained. So I'll get back to them as soon as I can. I will get back to you, I promise you that. It may just have to wait a couple of weeks, but that's it. I'm off. Catch you tomorrow, guys.